Hello everybody, today's video is going to be an unboxing from witeden.com. This is a Dian Taian in a Dian Lingyun version 2, which will complete my Dian collection. So let's go ahead, get my knife and open this up. I will be reviewing the Lingyun version 2 in this video, and I'll make a separate one for the Taian. So let's get this thing open. Alright, so the first thing we have here are some stickers, and I guess this is for the Taian. You can see that these stickers are a little bit different than your usual Dian stickers. And then here we have the actual Dian stickers for the Lingyun version 2. So let's see, this one here, this one's got to be the Lingyun, and this one has to be the Taian. So we're going to put the Taian away for now. And what else did they ship me here? They gave me a bag. I guess this would be for the Taian. So that'll go away. And here we have the boxes. I'll get rid of that plastic now. And this one is Lingyun. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look at the pieces of the Lingyun. I've never owned a Lingyun before, and I will be doing a full review on it. I've heard that it's very good and comparable to the Zhanchi, which makes me happy because Zhanchi is my favorite cube. Alright, so let's put together a couple of these edge pieces and see what it looks like. I know that there's torpedoes. There should be torpedoes in here. Yes, there is. Let's just put a torpedo together. Okay, so this is an edge piece, and it does look very, very similar to a Zhanchi, but it also has the Lunhui kind of dip in it, like this that the Lunhui has that I haven't seen on any other ones either. If you can see that little ridge there, that happens on the Lunhui. So let's take a look at a corner piece. Let's just assemble one, and of course it's the typical Dian, corner pieces that are three pieces, and it makes one when you squeeze them all together like that. And again, that does look a lot like a Zhanchi. In fact, it's really, really scooped in there. If you can see this, it's really scooped. And let's put that next to, how does this work again? Here we go. Wow, look at the gap in between the pieces. You can see my finger behind it. That's quite the gap. I'm really, really curious, and these scoops seem to go in very, very far. I don't really see why they would go in that far. Oh well, I'm sure that we'll figure that out. Maybe it's for this piece that'll go there. So here is a center piece. That's very, that's actually a little bit different than what I've seen on other Dian cubes. So I'm really, really curious about this cube. And of course your typical core and screws and springs. So I'm not actually going to sticker it with these. I've got some half brights that I like to use. So I'm going to assemble this cube and put it together and play with it for a couple of days and then come back and let you know what I thought. Okay, so I've had this cube for a couple of days now, and I got mixed opinions about it. You know, when I was actually assembling the cube itself, and I lubed it all like I do in my Zhanchi tutorial, and then I lubed the pieces, and before it was stickered, I was working the lube in, and I was like, wow, this is really, really awesome. I bet you this is going to be better than a Zhanchi, and I was sad to say that, but it turned out that I do actually prefer the Zhanchi more than this. This one does have a resemblance to the Lunhui, and I think it's because of those ribbed pieces that I showed you earlier, and there's just more contact points, whereas on the other ones, they're a little bit floating away from each other on the pieces, but I can tell on this cube and the Lunhui that the pieces, there's a lot more friction, and for that, it feels a lot more scratchy. Like I can feel bumps, when I move it like this. So it's kind of a bumpy feel, but because the pieces are so close and touching themselves, it feels really sturdy, and it actually feels a bit heavier for some reason. I found that with the Lunhui as well. So if I would say anything, that this, the Lingyun version 2 would be close to the Lunhui, and a lot of people said that it was closer to the Zhanchi. I think it's personal opinion. A lot of people might say this is closer to the Taian or the Guhong version 2. Everybody's different, but in my opinion, it's really, really close to the Lunhui, and it does corner cut and everything, exactly like a regular Dian cube. They're all really good except for the Taian, I've heard, but I'm going to be reviewing that one next, so we'll take a look at that then. So the size of this cube is exactly the same size as any other Diane cube. Here we've got another Zhanchi in black. This is actually my original main one. I'm going to take it apart and see if I can make it better again. So yeah, it's a standard size, you know, standard Diane corner cutting, reverse corner cuts really, really well as well. I find that this one actually corner cuts a little bit better than most on the reverse side, I mean, and I think it might just be those really, really shallow scoops that were in there that are allowing that to happen. As you can see, I can go more than halfway through a QB. I can go about 3/4 of the way and it'll still go, but if I go a little bit further than that, oh, it did go. Wow. Okay, so as you can see, it really does cut corners, but I don't know, like I've said in a lot of other videos too, like who really needs to reverse corner cut that much? I mean, if you're speed solving and you're reverse corner cutting that much, I think that that kind of reverse corner cutting will actually slow you down. So most people who go that fast tend to be a little bit more accurate, but it is cool to have that feature, of course. Now again, like I said with the turning, it's very, very bumpy, and this has like a crispier feel to it. And I have done a lot of averages with it, so I have broken it in a little bit, but it's probably not as broken in as like my main Zhanchi or anything. But it's definitely a loud cube. It's clicky. You know, it's got a bumpy feel to it. Here, I'll give you an example. Here's my pink Zhanchi, right? And this pink Zhanchi is actually not very broken in because I haven't used it a lot. But this one, listen to how it sounds. You can almost hear the bumps in there. Now if I do this one the same speed, you can tell that it's a little bit different of a sound. Let's try a stickerless. And these two are Zhanchis, this one and that one. It's a lot quieter than this. And I think the reason is because, like I said, the contact points in there are greater than the Zhanchi and the Guhong and stuff like that. And that's why it resembles the sound and feel of a Lanhui. Now that being said, like I said, it feels like it's a little bit heavier and a little bit sturdier. And I find that, you know, for me personally, the way that I lube my cubes, if you've all seen my Zhanchi tutorial on how to lube, when I did it to this cube, it almost made it a little, I guess I would say, too fast, you know, like it's just seems like it's too heavy for the amount of lube, and it doesn't want to stop at a, you know, a 90 degree when I do one flick. Like it is now because I'm using my finger to stop it, and a lot of the time that's what people do. They keep their finger there, or at least that's what I do. But if you were to, you know, flick it, it would go almost 180 degrees. And I know a lot of people like that. I personally don't like that. I like to be a little bit more accurate. If I'm going to do, you know, a 180 degree turn like this, I would rather do 2 fingers, which I'm actually not very good at, and I don't ever do. I usually do double fingers, but or I would just do double fingers. And I don't know, I'd like my cube to be a little bit more precise, and I have screwed around with the tensions a little bit to see if I could tighten it to the point where the lube would not allow it to slide. And I've taken, you know, I've wiped a little bit of the lube out as well to see if that will stop that, and it doesn't stop it. And I think what it is just the way the cube is, and I find that the Lanhui was doing the exact same thing as well. So I don't think that this is going to be my main at all, but I did buy this to complete my collection of Diane cubes, along with the Taiyan that I just unboxed as well. And I am going to be doing a full review on all of the Diane cubes, even the version 1 and the version 2s. I'm going to be doing full reviews and comparisons on them, and I'm probably going to be doing a race video like I did with my colored video, so I can really see if Zhanchi is the one for me, and I'm pretty sure it is anyways. And, you know, it's just an average of 5 anyway. It's just for fun. It's not really, you know, any hard evidence or statistics on what I should and shouldn't be using. It's more for fun and a little experiment. So I think I am going to be sticking with my Zhanchi, and I'll just give you a quick example solve with this right now. And I'm not going to time it, just so you guys can see. All right, so that's actually a really easy cross. You know what, I'll do a walkthrough solve with this one because it's just such an easy cross. So I can see the green is already lined up and the blue is lined up, and if I turn that down, that's going to line up the orange and the red back here. Okay, so all I got to do, and I can see this blue and red one here, so at the same time I'm going to try to take a look for it, which I can see the corners down there. So I'm going to go like this. That brings up the corner and puts all of these in place. Now I'm going to align these two, cube rotate, insert it. I saw this one here. Now when I'm practicing, It's really, one thing I like to do instead of looking around the cube for the next pieces, I like to pause and I like to say, okay, where is the corner for this? I know it's not here. That's got orange, and I know it's not here because this has blue and we're looking for green and red. And I know it's not this one or this one. And, so it's only here, here, or here. And I'm going to take a guess that it's there because I saw it actually before. But that's how I practice. So I can insert that. Now, here we go again. Here is a white, blue, and orange. Now, is it here, blue and orange, or is it here, blue and orange? Well, it's hard to say. I could rotate the cube and, figure out which one it is. But usually in a time like this, I will guess, and I am going to guess that it is this one over here. So I'm going to go like this, and for sure it was. And now it's lined up. And the reason I guessed this one was because instead of guessing this one and going like this and figuring out that I'm wrong, what I did was I took this one, and if I guess this one and it's right, I'm already set up to insert it really easily. And now I know that these two are together because this one doesn't have green or orange on it. Well, it's different doing a walkthrough solve, and then an OLL case I don't know. So I do to look, and then here is N perm. I'm not sure if that's N, A, or B. I'm not very fast at the algorithms for that. Anyways, I've actually been thinking about doing some walkthrough solve. Sorry, I'm getting off topic of the review. I feel my review on this is done, and I'm going to elaborate more on my full Zhanchi review comparison. But what did you guys think of the walkthrough solve? Did I do a good video? Please let me know so I can make a full tutorial, or not really tutorial, but some walkthrough solves and show you how I practice and some of the things that I try to notice while I'm solving and stuff. So I tried to make that video a few times, but it never worked out. So here's a test. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video.